Okay, so I want to rant. I want to get into a fucking rant about the data collection in this country, right? So this country, right? And believe me, China is way fucking worse off than we are with data collection. But we'll start off small with the United States of America, right? So in this country, you are an average consumer, and you're presented you want to join a social media platform, and you're presented with this long fucking terms and conditions list, right? And it tells you all this bullshit about blah 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 blah. You're gonna get this, blah, you're gonna have your data collected, blah blah blah. And every fucking time we just agree. You know, like, it's not a big deal anymore. Like, everybody's just agreeing to this shit. But you pick through this, and you comb through the terms and conditions, right? Your data can very much just be sold to anyone, right? Like, and like literally anybody. Like, these companies will take your data, pass them off to other institutions, other marketing companies, anywhere, and they just target ads toward you, right? That's what they're doing right now. They're just targeting ads at you. And I look at that, and I don't really see that as being, like, really a big deal. You know, like, you just don't buy it, right? You just simply don't buy it. But the problem is, that data, who you are, and what you stand for, is now collected. So, let me just put this into perspective. We live in a world of complete transparency. We make our lives and every aspect that we do completely transparent. Like, whether it be through social media, you know, the simple algorithm, and I'm going to be getting into the algorithm too, so just hold on to your fucking horses for that one. Just sit here and wait for that one, alright? But anyway, you have absolute transparency in your life. Nothing is fucking private anymore. And it doesn't seem like anybody really gives a shit, you know? Why should they? It doesn't change their everyday life, so why does it matter? But it's not going to change your life right now, is what people need to understand. Your life will have no drastic or dire consequences for years down the line, right? You're going to just completely be normal. They're still collecting this data. It's going to take decades to collect this data. However, they know at your core exactly who you are right now. Eventually, they're going to hit a point, and I'm going to tell you guys this right now, right? They're going to hit a point where it doesn't fucking matter at all what you do. Just by clicking like 4 or 5 buttons, they know what you are. And they know what you want, and they know what you're gonna buy. Like, that just blows my fucking mind. For example, there was it was an abolished DARPA program, right? It was back in fucking the early 2000s. They started working on this program to basically collect all of your information. It was called LifeLog, and it was to just catalog who a person's life is down to their core. Everything they do, everything they like, and every single thing that they know and love will be cataloged and used for whatever the fuck they want to use it for. But what happened was, DARPA eventually started, you know, spreading this out to people, being like, hey, what do you guys think of this? Because, you know, they're the government. They have to have some kind of approval before they just go ahead and do some shit like this for actual Americans to sign on. Everybody said, fuck this. You know, like, I don't want my information being out there. I don't want my fucking data being everywhere. So, LifeLog was ultimately scrapped on February 4th, 2004. That exact same day, February 4th, 2004, and you guys can look all of this shit up, Facebook started. Facebook fucking launched. Isn't that just mind-blowing? Like, not only did DARPA make this life-threatening program to the American public, and the Americans had issue with it. Like, it's not like they just did it without our consent. They took a focus group, and they had consent to LifeLog. And they said, hey, we don't like this. Don't do this. So instead, they just pass it off to some fucking private institution. And then they just went ahead and they just fucking made your Facebook. And here we are. Now everybody's just on Facebook, you know, and Facebook has had a litany of crimes and issues within their overall kind of ecosystem, where they've been sued, they've been charged, a litany of crimes have been committed by Facebook. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm trying to say is, you have the government making these they're really just artificial intelligence at their core. It's an algorithm. It's these programs to push their data collection agenda. And the exact same thing fucking happened with Siri on your phone, on everybody's fucking phone. Your virtual assistant was made by the government. It was made by DARPA and then immediately sold to Apple. That's just fucking insane. The government can't use it, so they just sell it off to the highest fucking bidder. And then these companies take this highly controversial military technology, mind you, military technology, and pass it off to consumers just to fucking use it for no reason, like just to catalog their lives. They take that, they sell your information, and then whoop-de-fucking-do, here they go, making a big dollar off of who you fucking are at your core. So, what I'm really trying to say is, there is ultimately no way around this, except for one thing. And this is the one thing that I myself have been practicing for a while now. And it works. It, honest to God, works. If you go on Amazon, you make a fresh account, right? And you go and you start browsing, right? I'm interested in computers and technology and all that kind of shit. So, I look at a lot of computer parts, motherboards, processors, hard drives, all that shit. So, I'm on Amazon, I'm looking at all this shit. But whenever I look something up, I just look up the exact opposite of it. If I look up hard drives, I look up lawnmower parts. I look up processors, then I just immediately go and I look up fucking buckets, Trick the algorithm into believing what is not true. Become ungovernable. That's ultimately the only way out of this spiral that we've gotten ourselves into. So, the real cons with having your data collection is not only the issue of your personal life is out there for everybody to see, but it's these governments taking your data and targeting you specifically. And it's not even a person anymore. It's a fucking computer doing it now. So, the government, and there is nobody in the government, there's nobody above the government, there's not a single person that's looking at you with human eyes being like, okay, well, maybe we shouldn't do this. It's all fucking machines at this point. Like, everybody was worried about Y2K when that was coming around in the uprising of machines, but here we are, like, fucking 2 decades after Y2K, here we are, fucking having literal computers control our lives, tell us what we want to buy. And the question that I just keep getting asked is, like, I go around and I ask a lot of people, like, what do you think about this? And I'd say that, like, probably 30% of them will tell me, hey, I just don't give a shit. Like, it doesn't matter. These are the fucking people that have been absolutely brainwashed by this shit. And it's fucking staggering, the amount of people. A solid 30% don't even give a shit. But then you have people who are, I'd call it maybe another 40%, who say, yeah, this is very obviously a problem, but what am I going to do about it? Like, they acknowledge that it's a problem. They say that they're going to take active measures to change their everyday life to avoid the algorithm, and they still just keep falling into it because of the stupid fucking content that our brains have been wired to enjoy. So, the remaining percent are like me. I'd say that there's still a 30% to maybe 20% of people out there who actively try to not give their information. Use VPNs, have a bunch of different accounts, don't put any personal information out there. Like, it's all shit that we should be doing, and that we've all been taught to do from a very young age. I'm 19 years old. I grew up in the wild west of the internet, right? When everything was all the .com craze. You had, you would browse the internet, you'd browse websites, chat rooms, boards, all this shit. But we live in a world now where that's not needed anymore, because whatever you want to see is right in front of you in a short 6-second clip. And as soon as that's over, you just swipe to the next content, swipe to the next, and it's staggering at how long you can get wrapped up in this shit. So, ultimately, don't fucking use TikTok. Don't use any of this mind-numbing shit, because us as human beings are not chemically engineered to handle this amount of dopamine that we're getting from these programs. So from Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, all of these other short, like, dopamine releases that we get from viewing this content, you need to stop using these. And the worst part about it is, right, this is the one that hits home hardest to me, because I'm a person who has a very vocal channel. I like to talk about this shit that gets on my nerves, okay? I don't give a fuck about monetization. I don't care about YouTube. I'm doing what people did in that Wild West days. I am saying my point, and I'm getting my shit out there. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I don't fucking care. That's not my problem. I'm just here ranting to you people. So, if you go on Snapchat, Instagram, whatever, your social media of choice, and you pick a topic, right? This just ties right back into that Amazon thing that I told you guys to do. And you actively seek out topics related to that, you can alter your algorithm, right? So if you go on Instagram and say you're not even a car guy, right? But you just start looking at all the car videos and shit, right? You know, drag racing, you got the car shows, car accounts, all this. And you start going on your explore page and you start tapping these like proactively throughout the day. You tap all these different images, these different reels, and eventually what you're going to notice is your entire For You page, or rather explore page, has been propagated by fucking car videos. So not only have you completely beaten the algorithm thinks you're a completely different person altogether. But I don't know, man. We need to start taking different measures to combat against this. Become ungovernable. Don't let them look at you and define you. Be your own fucking person. Be who you are, not what your fucking explore page tells you to. Be who you want to be. Find your own interests. Scour the fucking internet. It's probably one of the biggest tools ever invented. I'd say it's the biggest invention by mankind. The internet is purely amazing at its core, but it's been twisted and tainted into this consumer grade bullshit where you can't do whatever you want. You can't say whatever you want because people don't want to see it. All of the shit that you see on YouTube, everything is carefully curated and carefully picked to make you happy, to make you watch, to keep you entertained. Twitter especially is its own perfect ecosystem for arguments. Twitter is engineered. You can look at how it's made and the human interactions on Twitter. It is specifically engineered to have you get wrapped up in arguments. It doesn't put you with the same people that you enjoy being around. It puts you with the opposite people. So you can constantly argue and constantly stay on the platform. It's fucking ridiculous. Twitter arguments are out of control. And for what? You are arguing with somebody on the complete other end of the spectrum. You are not going to change their mind in a mere 240 fucking characters. It doesn't matter. So, fuck, man. All that I have to say about this is just, don't get wrapped up in it. Live a fucking life. Go out, explore. You don't even have to leave your house. I rarely do, but I don't find myself being wrapped up in this short-term bullshit. I don't sit here and scroll and scroll and scroll and look at this shit and have it provide me entertainment. I like to explore different mediums. I like to explore different ideas. I like to have people challenge me because it makes me grow as a person. Because if we're just going to be shown the shit that we want to see, if we're shown the shit that we just can't comprehend any other way, if I look at my For You page and I see shit that I love to see and I don't see any other bullshit, anything that makes me uncomfortable, then I'm just not going to grow as a person. I'm just going to be in the same fucking spiral that I'm in right now. It's bullshit. Fix yourself and fix your fucking life. Become ungovernable and fuck the algorithm over. Bottom line. Eat shit and die, loser.